7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. David Wilkins normally chairs this committee, and he is not here. He is not feeling well, so he has me to take over. First item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would join me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Been asked to change the order of things just a little bit. First of all, Tim would like to make an announcement.
Okay. Last Thursday, there was a plane crash in Afghanistan, and one of our Missouri aviation units is over there, and they had 3 attached soldiers that were from other states that were killed in a plane crash. It's a U.S. military MC-12 plane, and had a crew of 3 members on board. It's traditionally used as a surveillance plane, and my understanding is it was coming in for landing and took a nosedive and killed 3 people. So I'd like to ask for a moment of silence and keep the 3 soldiers and their families in your thoughts and prayers over the next several weeks while they work through that. Thank you. Just another note, the commander of that unit is a great friend of mine, and it took a pretty good toll on him. He got right back the next day, got back up flying an airplane, because he said that's what commanders do. You know, when you have a significant loss like that, the best thing to do is get back up, start flying again. Not only does it show strength to your other soldiers, but it helps to, helps memorialize the soldiers that were lost. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, next we have people here from the park board, and they would be further down the agenda, but we will move them to the front so that they know.
No, not from the park.
I'm not a park board, the library board. Sorry.
We're all mistaken tonight, that's okay.
So,
You, of all people.
if you would like to give, say something.
Yes, good evening. We came, brought a resolution, the mayor has it, they were requesting to be put on the April ballot to ask for a operating tax levy increase of 25 cents. And so we brought that, and the required signatures. I think we just need to get it notarized at earliest. And we'd like for you all to consider it and for the next meeting.
Okay.
It just takes a simple majority on
Oh,
the
yes.
operating levy, so.
So simple
Simple
majority,
majority.
Yep, no bond issue, just operating levy.
50.1%.
Yep.
Let's take it.
All right.
We will take that.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just for operating expenses?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
All right.
These documents were prepared by your bond counsel?
Yes.
or-
Yep.
Okay. So Merritt hasn't had a hand in it, has he?
Yep,
I'll say, Merritt prepared an ordinance. Of course,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
really just a matter of cut and paste.
yeah.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we should put this on, this will be on our agenda for next week, and we'll get it approved.
Okay.
And this is for the April
For
election?
the April election.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have comments from citizens. Our
Good evening.
citizens,
Thank
our
you.
citizens are late.
They're not leaving because James came.
Hearing no comments from citizens, we'll move on to public safety. First up, city prosecutors, any report?
Nothing.
All right. Next up is police report. There is an activity report in our packet. Anybody have any questions or comments?
misdemeanor theft. 5 of them that was in December, 5 for under $500.
I should have had, and I did not, the totals for 2013 put in there. I don't, did she put those in there?
I didn't see them.
I don't think she did.
Okay,
I will get those for you next month.
all right, thanks.
We were up just a little bit. Not anything like we were last year, like, you know, the 20, whatever, 17, 18%, whatever it was last year. It was 3
Okay.
or 4%, something like that.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Is there any other under police department? Next up, fire department. We have an activity report in our packet.
I saw it this afternoon, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's on this afternoon too, but
Did he get called out or something?
I don't know,
Not as far as I know.
unless he's working on the new building or something, I don't know. It was pretty decent weather today, so.
All right. Any questions or comments? Any other under fire department?
Well, I was gonna ask Denny. We have a proposal for selling us fireworks from the same company that sort of submitted an informal bid last year in competition with the firm that we've done for like 25 years. They looked at our budget amount and prepared a quote the same way. I need to discuss with Denny whether he has any idea about the quality of what's being proposed, and is it similar enough to do formal bidding, or just recommend we stay with what we've done.
Do they offer the insurance?
They seem to.
Okay.
It is not clear how much insurance and any conditions, but they do offer insurance.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I will be talking to him, and if there's anything up about that, I'll report next Monday.
Okay. Any other under fire department then? Next is emergency management. Any report?
Not really.
Okay, protective inspections, new building codes.
Yeah, we haven't had any building permits for a month and a half now, but the county is looking at the new, relatively new, the 2011 electric 2012 set of international building codes.
Okay.
And as I understand it, they're trying to work through things so that they can adopt it in about April or thereabouts.
Okay. That comes out every 2 years, right?
3.
3 years.
I have a complete set except for the fire code, so I can go through, because I also happen to have a draft of what the changes they're going to make in it, just like we and they have made in the past.
Right.
And I will examine it a little bit more carefully this time. If you've read the newspapers, the city of Columbia is going through the same thing. And what they're talking about involves some, taking it on almost face value, but that involves all sorts of energy efficiency and fire safety things that are not common around here.
Right.
Sorts of pressure, air tests for how airtight your building is, and sprinkling on a much more aggressive basis. It's a hot
Yes, I've been keeping up with what Columbia is.
And the upshot is this would add several thousands of dollars to the cost of a regular house, and a cheaper house. And so Boone County is apparently not going to adopt any of those standards, or at least scale them back. I will try to come up with a list of any that's impertinent to you, and you can make your own decisions on how close we want to go to the county, or to the area, or start deviating more than Boone County. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that, but even just not going with the changes proposed by Columbia would probably give local builders a competitive advantage price-wise.
You had to deal with some of those, like,
Mm-hmm.
pain, real pain to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that.
The process is lengthy. I mean, if I have to advertise, and I believe I have to advertise 3 months in advance that a set is available for inspection. And eventually we'll have to have more than one set, so that somebody can reference them here. And in the past, we've also bought a set for the library that we've tipped in the ordinance with the changes, so that somebody at their leisure in off hours would be able to also examine the building codes. Most builders who are regularly in the business will know what to expect once we do it. But we still try to be user friendly. So unless there's objections, as the county adopts theirs, I will start to do the advertising and preparing analysis for you. And it'll probably be May or June before we're in a position to actually adopt anything. And then you'll get to pay a good chunk of change for the city code to be updated,
Yes.
because I'll change many, many pages.
Okay. All right. Going back to the fire department. You said you had a question for Denny.
Well, I don't need to do them right here. I have a proposal from another company that wants to sell us fireworks. And I want to get together with you wherever I put them and go over things and discuss them to see if it looks like we're comparing the same quality and sparkle, as it were, of display, or whether they just knew the amount they had to get to and went backwards to prepare this. And you know more about it than I do.
Well, I'd say our last few years haven't been that great of what J&M's been giving us, so I mean, it might be worth looking at. I mean, like I said, we look at quality versus
Right.
what we're getting.
I hadn't heard that we had any difficulty with.
I mean, I'm going by mortar side.
Oh, okay, well, this
I mean,
is
back in the
basic.
day, back in the day when I first started, Jim's Food Star, we used to get like 6-inch mortars. I mean, I think they might have banned that, but I mean, you know, you have 6, 5, 4s, and 3s.
Do you still have 6-inch mortars?
No, but I think that's because that might be state related though. But I mean, they're just dumping a bunch of 3s and stuff on us now. I mean, it's,
Okay, well, I think the
Well,
number
price is
of
the same for all.
various size shells is gonna be similar to what we have going. And so,
well, I mean, it would be worth looking at just to see.
yeah, sometime before the end of the week, when you bring in your budget number, we'll discuss this too.
Okay, that budget done yet?
Huh?
Get that budget done yet?
I can't get enough paper, all the zeros on there.
Yeah. The zero with nothing in front of them.
No, there's something in front of it.
All right.
Do you, is that all you need from me, or is it better, or what?
That's, yes.
I mean, I I'm looking to put on 2 more firemen. I mean, we've gotten rid, well, 2 or 3 have quit. And I'm thinking about putting 2 more on it. Pretty interested in doing it, and
Okay.
that's a plus right there when you're interested in doing it anymore, so.
Yeah. You got 2 people in mind already?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
they done filled out the application for the city and everything, so.
Okay,
Great.
thanks.
We might be able to take care of it next Monday.
I don't see what.
Do I just leave the applications and?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You know, we'll have to establish a personnel file anyway.
Mhm.
Because most of the guys, we've discussed it over there at the station, and they don't seem to be more trouble, so.
Okay.
Alright. Keep her.
Even if you did lose two, adding two is within,
Oh, we're still way below.
Yeah, you're,
We're still
you
way
should be
below.
well
Yeah.
below, but you,
But these guys seem, they keep coming to me and say they're interested, so.
do they have, first responder training, or you'd have to?
One does, and I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'm sure he got some training. I'll just, Boone Lee is one of them. And I'm sure he probably got some kind of training in the military.
Mhm.
But I mean, and then we had discussed that we're not opposed to, you know, putting on another one of those first responder courses anyway, just to.
Refreshers.
Post it, yeah. We did.
alright.
How many firefighters do you have? What's the salary that you have?
I think we're at 20, we should be at 20. We can have up to 30,
Mhm.
but I mean, you still got the problem where you can have 30, you're still only gonna get your 20, so I mean.
And
There's
then
always,
the-
there's always some that wanna be on and some that
Yeah,
just
and
don't show up, so.
And then where they reside or work during the day,
Yeah, and this,
you know, affects,
one is in town during the day, and
yeah,
That's what you need,
that's
yeah.
good, yeah.
That's what you need, yeah.
that's a plus, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Alright. Do you have anything else?
I think we're good to go other than that.
Okay,
Alright, thank you.
sounds good. Was there anything else on protective inspections, Lynn?
Not really,
Okay,
given the weather and everything, it's very slow.
yes.
All the way around.
Alright, general government and finance, economic development. We have the National Career Readiness Certification, which I saw in our packet.
Thought we might have a credit report too, but they haven't had a meeting.
Yeah, they haven't had
Right.
meetings, so. The holidays and everything.
Chamber isn't either, so.
In your packet was some information that I received through Ready, a program they're promoting that really doesn't have stringent guidelines. They're asking for shows of support for the various communities, and Columbia and Boone County are signed on already. I believe that Mike Rogers was going to talk to Chance about it. It's a national-wide program. We have the detailed information in your packet. It's sort of a way to get people semi-pre-qualified for potential employers, and also to give potential employees better feel for the kind of skill levels of various sorts that they might need to meet the minimum requirements for jobs in the area. So it involves taking tests that are like the GED, but not quite the same or as expensive, and they get certification from that they meet certain skill levels, and employers can reverse that and say, we need a silver or a gold level, or we really don't need a higher skill level in bronze, and so most people would qualify. Anyway, they're asking for the city to participate, all other things being equal, to give some credence to the fact that potential employees might have these documents. They know that the city doesn't have a lot of turnover. What turnover we do have is in the police department more than others, and even that's not been too much.
Yeah.
And there's so many special qualifications for police that, I mean, if you come in and you're a certified law enforcement officer,
That's a good
It
thing.
really doesn't matter whether you're bronze, silver, or gold.
Mm-hmm. I think we ought to sign up for that. No.
Or you're certainly not even bronze if you're, at the
Yeah.
police department, if you don't have a certification.
Yeah.
So, I'll bring this up again on the next agenda if you, unless everybody's had a chance to read it.
I skimmed through it, I didn't see anything that I'm overly concerned about.
Somebody wanna move that I cannot fill out the application?
Well, I would just be interested in knowing how much time this takes.
On our part?
Yes, on our part.
Almost none.
Oh, okay.
Unless you wanna codify it as part of the hiring process, and I'm not suggesting.
I don't think we could go that far, but I think we need to sign up for it.
They're trying to get enough potential employers locally that raises a big flag to potential employees that this is something they need to be looking at
Okay.
and testing their skill levels. And, you know, they may be thinking they're more skilled for particular jobs than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reality check there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I can go ahead? Or you want
Any
to?
problems?
I would think we could.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, next up, park board.
We have a meeting on the 17th. They had a meeting on the 17th.
Well, there is a minutes in our packet from the last meeting. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Nope.
Cemetery report.
Nothing to report. I think Phyllis and Mr. Robertson are almost finished with all the setting corners and stuff to be able to start selling lots in the northeast quadrant, but haven't seen a final bill yet, and Phyllis hasn't said we're ready to go. She may be waiting to import it onto the GIS system.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
December financial statements. You're in our,
Tree board?
oh,
Nothing.
tree board. Oh,
I,
yes.
on the tree board, I just wanna pass out that I did sign the, application so that we could be, Tree City USA again for this coming year. It'll be our 22nd or 23rd year in a row, so. John Cockowitz sent that in last month.
Okay.
Spend enough money on that it's pretty much foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the December financial. Any questions or comments?
No. Library board had some minutes in there, you ought to take cognizance of those.
Oh, well,
Even
yes.
though they didn't talk about it.
Anybody have any questions or comments on library minutes? The financials? Questions or comments on the financials? All right. Next is bills over $12.50. Any questions or comments?
Money's coming in, money's going out.
Now we're starting to receive the personal,
Mhm.
the property taxes.
Is Cannon, is this final bill?
No,
No? Okay.
it's close, but there is a retainage for coming back and redoing the seating and strawing. And there is a disagreement between Cannon and Christine about the measurement of units on some of the driveway approaches and sidewalks. And with 18 to 20 inches of snow over the top of some of those sections, they weren't in a position to go out and field check the measurements and agree with them. So long as the weather stays the way it is, I believe they'll be going out soon to measure, so that they can at least reach a consensus on the exact unit numbers. And since the bid was based on X number of dollars per unit, and that sorts of things, there will perhaps be further payment based on those.
Okay.
But it's close, I mean, it's not even, not even 5% left to go on the contract.
All right, sounds good. All right, any other questions? Any other under general government? All right. Next, further preliminary budget discussions.
Find where I had it. Anything wrong? Well,
Back up there, on the top of the books.
I'll go off the top of my head. I managed to get the out statements last Friday, and I've plunked them in several spreadsheets to do estimating on the general fund budget, which is the one we've not yet discussed. It's clear that we're not going to have the money to replace the front end loader, although it likely will, the budget will likely show purchase of a detachable blade that you can just scoop the loader in front of and attach with chains, and you can use it as a snowplow, which would, given the number of cul-de-sacs we've been adding in various subdivisions, it would work a lot better in those areas than our trucks or the motor grader. Phil says that Mexico added one, and it took down to the big time saver.
Okay.
I had hoped that Freddie might be here. Two big things that I don't have a good handle on yet. How much Creddy is going to ask for this year. Last year we did a startup, but how much are they have they carried over, and how much are they going to need?
Right.
Since I don't think they've developed any revenue sources. And then, could you relate to Jack Chance that now's the time that he needs to make a presentation to the board and a request of how much they might need for the reenactment? Because if it doesn't get in the budget soon, then everything will get eaten up in other things. Let's see. Bill wants to replace his camper. It looks to me like the pickup truck that was budgeted for this year, by the time we get around to taking it to the board and getting it ordered, it's going to get paid for next year. And given that we're not going to replace the front end loader for a while, I agree with Phil that he can look at a 3/4 ton instead of a half-ton pickup as a replacement, because they're pulling some things around that are, they are more wear and tear on the pickup that he has. I'm showing $50,000 in my rough draft for storm sewer. That may be a stretch, but trying to be part of the Miles Street ditch. And if we have manpower working on the one in the Chance parking lot, by guesses as far as salary levels for the city manager who replaces me, and there'll be increased employee benefits because whoever it is likely to have a family, and a lot of things like that, even though they will come in with too much vacation and that sort of thing up front, they'll still be higher benefit costs. At the moment, I'm looking at one merit increase in the general fund to add 2 temporary workers for 3 months each in the street department at the time when we're going to be doing sidewalk. Not as permanent employees, but, you know, just like the park, find some college kids, maybe some of the college kids will want to come in and do something a little bit steadier and develop work experience and then carry over. I should note that Phil Hoffman originally started with the city as part-time summer help in between college. The mats that I mentioned last week ago, but I do have Larry's 2 used highway patrol cars as replacements in there. And when we just go into closed session, I'll be discussing salary levels and the union request. So I don't have anything written yet because I really do need to nail down what the Civil War request is going to be and what Friday's going to want, and then find some other places to cut. Because it's really at that stage.
You said they don't have a blade for the front end loader?
Well, they have a bucket, but they don't have a blade, and I get there's something you just drive up to, and it kind of fits over the bucket, and you flip some chains so it's solidly attached, and then you can use it as a snowplow. And it's not real expensive, it's about $5,000. I'll leave it to Phil to explain it. If it stays in, which I hope it will, then at the next Public Works, Public Utilities, Phil can describe what Success Mexico is doing. Mostly right now we use the loader for removing the piles of snow from downtown.
Sir, are you talking about a blade to go on a tractor or your bobcatty thing or what?
No.
Well,
No.
you know the big wheeled front end loader?
Yes,
Okay, it's got a bucket on the front.
right.
This would attach
To the front of the
to
bucket.
the front of the bucket, right, and be chained to it. And it'll be a blade, so it would be caught, I'm sure, and so you could push snow around with it. And because it's articulated, you can do a much narrower radius than you can with a regular truck or certainly with motor grader. And it's easy on, easy off, so you can sort of do several functions in quick succession without having to take it back to the shop to adapt it to whatever your task at hand is.
And replacing this loader was in the budget, but it's not right now?
It was in a very early rough draft, and I made mention to it last week, but we're talking about $132,000 less whatever the trade-in value is. Not even close to being
A
able to
replacement item as opposed to an additional item.
Right.
Thank you.
At the NML meeting that Don and I attended last week, there was a guest speaker there talking about the buy board. It's a website that several manufacturers, retailers have kind of come together and are marketing their products, everything from staplers to front end loaders to fire trucks or police cars, whatever, at a very reduced rate.
Joining is free.
Joining is free for municipalities and government and nonprofit organizations.
They said that this was, it's basically set up for government, various types of government. School boards take a lot of use of it because of the fact that, what they deal with. But they're getting into the municipal market more and more. Missouri, they've been in it for a while. Missouri is just now getting into it. MML is working with the buy board.
Yeah.
Of course, MML is gonna get a percentage rate off.
Well, they,
Uh,
that could be, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily something that you always use, but even if you do nothing more than check on,
Look,
Well,
look
I
at
mean,
the
it's one
cost.
way to get a reality check.
yeah, so.
Mhm.
We tend to use
State bids.
the purchasing co-op
Right.
and state bids.
This is similar to that. You don't necessarily go to it and just take the prices off of there. There are prices listed on a lot of things. But you can look at those and then you can contact the manufacturer. It's not just a bid where you just place your order.
Right. You
You
can,
have to call.
you can negotiate with them.
Yes, you call the people and,
Yeah.
you pick one of the better ones and then you,
Every time I negotiate with anybody, I tend to get in trouble around here.
Yeah,
So,
so-
and it just takes two times as long to.
but it is a reality check and that was one of the things they pointed out is,
Yeah.
you can look at that and see where prices,
Mhm.
are. But they say they meet all the state requirements.
Yes.
Interesting. I will,
I've got a folder of information in my car. I'll get for you.
okay. We haven't had a purchasing co-op meeting for quite a while. It sort of operates on cruise control. But I'll get in touch with Linda Bobbitt and see, the people with Columbia and Boone County that do nothing but prepare bids and analyze bids, will know more about this than
Okay.
I will, and know whether it's a good deal or not. There've been other
Mhm.
attempts to do things like this
Right.
on a national basis. Seems to me you might run into a little problem if the vendors are working directly with municipalities and cutting out the local dealers.
Well, and that was one thing that I wondered about is, even local dealers can get on this, but
Yeah.
this is really kind of a national thing. So you have to kind of look at it,
And he did say that local dealers can join the buy board and get just as much visibility as everybody else.
I'll look into it and see how it compares to state on things like vehicles and heavy equipment. We don't buy so much office supplies that it's worthwhile to take bids. or-
Right.
yeah.
We go through Quill a lot and we go
Mhm.
to a local vendor for paper,
Right.
which was bulk of things. And
Yeah.
it's satisfying to be able to
Shop local.
have Phyllis
Yeah.
say, oh, I need another case, and have it delivered to us that day or the next day.
Right. That's good.
And the prices are competitive. I mean, you might not quite always get the same kind of price as Office Depot, but you don't have to drive to Columbia to pick it up, do you?
Right.
Okay. I'll look at that and I'll contact you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other under other? All right, closed session.
Need somebody to move that the Board of Aldermen go into closed session?
We're out.
All right.
Yeah, we move.
Not gonna be a lot.
I would think
I hope,
of
hope not.
Probably not.
Basically, the language is at the bottom of the agenda.
Oh, would somebody like to read the, make the
And-
motion and read the,
I would not anticipate any action to result after we come back to open session. If you want to stick around, Bob, you feel free.
what is, no, I wasn't listening, I'm sorry.
I make a motion that we go into closed session, possibly hold a closed vote, and the purpose of such closed session and closed vote shall be preparation, including any discussions or work product on behalf of the city of Centralia or its representatives for negotiation with an employee group as provided for under section 610.0219 of the revised statutes of Missouri.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll call vote, I guess, isn't it?
Yes. Lee,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Granky,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Magley.
All right.
Okay.
Close session.
We're in closed session. We will be shortly